Was a little bit disappointed again with us giving up a set piece and having 10-minute laps. I don't know how soon the goals were scored, but I thought there were really good moments in the game, but we have to be better in the decisive moments if we want to be higher in the table.
Take it first time.
Yeah, hey Rumba. Just kind of curious for in the second half, just maybe the decision to switch to a back three, and kind of some of the thoughts behind that.
Well, I think that the back four was doing a really good job with their front three and neutralizing Benteke, and thought that we could be a little more aggressive because we want to play. Everybody in the locker room wants to play to win and not play to sit back, and so we were a little bit more aggressive in throwing another number forward, and I thought the guys responded and created numerous chances after that.
Yeah, I also just wanted to touch, obviously, Isaiah coming on and becoming the first academy product, first homegrown to make an appearance for Nashville. You're someone who's worked kind of with all of those, the academy and Huntsville and now the first team. Just, I would love your thoughts on kind of that and maybe what you think it means kind of for the club in the bigger picture.
I think it's positive for the club. I think you have a young kid like that who came on and in a tough game. I mean, he came up with a really big tackle to, keep our offensive momentum going. I thought, just like any kid who's starting to come through, there's some things that he need to do better. But I thought he adjusted to the speed of play and made some good defensive plays, and also offensively was able to get the ball to some good people. But he worked hard, and as for his first game to come in down and try to help affect it positively, it's a great sign for him and for our club. And it's great that all the encouragement the guys on the team gave him. And I thought a really good performance for him, especially getting to his debut.
Yeah. Rumba, I guess, how would you assess kind of the job you think you did on Christian Benteke on defense? And obviously, with him leading MLS in aerial duels won by a wide margin, I guess, what enabled him, you think, to get free and, win the header on the corner kick that, set the first goal in the second half?
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've seen it, but we weren't watching exactly for what he did. I think the guys did a good job. I mean, with all the set pieces that they had and balls into the box and long balls, I think they've dealt with almost all of them to the best of their ability and very well. And we can't keep giving up these set pieces, but he's a big, hard, difficult body to play against. And I thought, for the most part, Josh and Jack and Brent, when he came in, did a good job where that he was really dangerous on that one moment. But everywhere else, I thought that they had a good showing against him. And I think it's great for Josh to show that he can play right back and play center back and be effective in both areas.
Yeah. And I guess, do you feel that there are any maybe common threads throughout, these last, 4 defeats in a row? And I guess if so, what are they?
Yeah, giving up set pieces and then shooting ourselves in the foot that way. I think that we need to be better on that and play every action all the way through and be better in decisive moments and execute on goal a little bit more.
Hey, Rumba, it seems like Sam Surridge has been placed in different areas of the field today, and obviously he shifted to a left wing. I'm just curious, where do you see his position going forward for Nashville SC? And what do you really need to do to get him going again?
I don't think we need to get him going. He scored 10 goals in 20 games for this year. I think he's still going. I think he's dynamic enough to play in different spots depending on the game and depending on the team and depending on how we need to get players on the field. And so I'm really happy with his ability to be dynamic and shift and help the team out in different ways.
Yeah, you've spoken about how you need to do as much as you can with the players you currently have on the squad. Obviously, you are losing some players to international duty and injuries. I mean, do you think it's as simple as maybe getting a couple other bodies in, and maybe that will help snap out of this losing streak, or is there more to it?
I think we have enough good players here, and I think in every game, I mean, excluding Portland, Miami, Columbus, this game, the players haven't been poor. I think that they've been good, and I think that we've just been not completed certain actions at decisive times. And I think that if we pick up more points than we have in the last 4 games, and I'm sure the guys coming back are going to really contribute to that and also contribute to the competition. But I think that we have enough here in the club currently with everybody who's gone for international duty or injury to pick up more points.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Thanks, guys. We'll be back shortly.
Yeah, another disappointing result. Obviously, it's been a tough stretch over this past week and a half. And, in all honesty, I think players have to take responsibility. I think that we just have not been up to the standard that's required to win in this league. And it's just little lapses that are costing us in a big way. And, I call them little lapses, but that's what it takes to win in this league. And we just have not been up to standard. So I think it starts with us as players and looking at ourselves in the mirror and being honest with ourselves. And the only way to right this is, again, by, putting in performances that, we can be proud of, the club can be proud of, and the fans can be proud of.
Yeah, Sean, I mean, you just kind of touched on it. It feels like there's been defensive lapses kind of combined with maybe just not enough chance creation, and then maybe some poor finishing where those chances are created. Do you feel like there's been one kind of area that stands out, or do you feel like it's kind of just, I don't know, maybe a perfect storm of some kind?
Yeah, no, I think those are fair points. And, I think the thing that really stands out to us and me personally, that kind of encompasses where we're at right now is, our poor defensive, our poor defensive record on set pieces. And in the last few games, we've given up a lot. I mean, you look at the history of Nashville, you look at, the identity of the club since the beginning. It's been a very difficult team to score on. And I know there have been spells where, set pieces haven't been the best, but I think that right now it's just not good enough. And, there are reasons why maybe they're getting more set pieces or putting themselves in a position to score on set pieces. But at the end of the day, the lapse in, judgment on the set pieces has not been good enough, and it's hurt us in a big way. And then, of course, you can couple that with, scoring chances and, putting pressure on teams that way. And, that's another conversation where we haven't been good enough. But I do think on the night we had chances on the road where, perhaps with a little more confidence in front of the goal, we can put ourselves in a bit of a position. But to answer your question, long story short, I think that the set pieces has been really disappointing. And again, that's on the players. We can do as many set pieces as we want in training. We can, the staff can show us all the different set pieces. But when we're conceding and giving goals away on set pieces, it gives the other team a lot of momentum.
Yeah, just wanted to ask your thoughts, maybe on a little bit of a more positive note. Obviously, Isaiah coming on and becoming the first academy kid, first homegrown player to make an appearance for the club. Kind of just with your background with Red Bulls and kind of how they produce homegrown players, and then what you've seen from him. Just kind of what's your take on what it means for him personally, and maybe from the club on a bigger level?
Yeah, no, I appreciate the question, and we're all really proud of Isaiah. I think for any of the homegrowns, we see them as our little brothers in a way. And this is a new direction for the club. Obviously, the academy is coming along and developing a lot of good talents. And it's always fun to hear about the results and how they're doing at the respective academy tournaments. And, those guys are close to that and have a good pulse on it. And, for Isaiah specifically, this is his moment, and he's worked extremely hard for it. I remember in preseason hearing his story and his journey, and I'm really proud of him and what he's been through, and even his brother, obviously, he spent some time with us, but they just come from a great family, and Isaiah deserves this moment. He's been in Huntsville working hard. It's never easy. I know a lot of young players look at the professional life and they dream about it, but they don't necessarily see all the work that needs to go in behind the scenes. And I think Adem and Isaiah and, a lot of our younger players have had to grind and work hard in Huntsville to earn this opportunity. So nothing's been given to them. Again, just proud of Isaiah. He deserves this. And, we'll be sure to remind him that he has a long way to go. But this is a great first step, and he deserves it, and happy for the club.
Yeah, Sean, obviously this season has been, an eventful one with, coaching change, everything like that. I guess, in a couple of weeks, you'll have, an 11-day break before Leagues Cup, and then, a month-long break from MLS play. Do you think a break now is kind of, what this team needs in a way?
Yeah, I think, first of all, I think it's important that as players, again, we take responsibility, and I think we owe Rumba, the proper send-off. I think that he's come in and done his absolute best with his staff in a challenging situation, in a new situation for him. And we appreciate his honesty and his work ethic and, all the new things that he's been able to implement and put his positive spin on the group. And so, I do think that we owe him these last 2 games to give absolutely everything and, finish this chapter off the right way. In saying that, we don't want to look too far ahead, but, it's going to be a nice time for BJ to come in and work with the group before Leagues Cup. And, obviously, the more time, the better in that environment before we step on the field for our first Leagues Cup game. And, I think that everyone's really excited, but it's important not to look too far ahead. And, this is part of growing as a club, and there are going to be difficult moments. And, I think the silver lining is you can appreciate how great this club has been over the past few seasons. And like I mentioned at the beginning, we owe it to the club, the fans, to put in better performances, to, put in performances that we can all be proud of. So we need to get back to that. And I think a large part of that is on the players.
Yeah. And, obviously, number 8 through number 15, the Eastern Conference right now are separated by, I think, just, 6 points. And it's been, a pretty tight race for a lot of the last recently. I guess, is that something you guys talk about as a team a lot? And, if you talk about it, how much of it is from an angle of encouragement, as in, we're not out of the race at all? And how much of it comes from maybe, an angle of, we really can't afford to slack off,
Yeah, I think we look at it in a positive light. I think we saw with just a couple results, with Toronto and then with New York City at home, how far we were able to climb the table. And so we know that the points are out there for us. We know that the East is tight, and that's what this league is. That's what MLS is. It's there's a lot of parity, a lot of great teams. Every year, teams are improving, and the league is challenging. And this is the beauty of it. And I'm confident in our group. I know that we have the experience, we have the talent, and I don't think we're that far off. I don't think it's been good enough, but I don't think that we have to reinvent the wheel here. And I think that we're close, but we have to find that edge, that savviness that can help us a few percentage points and get us going again, get that momentum back, and we have to earn it. But it's not easy in this league, but I'm confident that we have the group to do it.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.